All right, folks, well, here we are in this strip that we have between our driveway and our wood line. And we talked about this, I believe, last year, even maybe even the year before, about increasing our edible acreage. So this is what we have in mind. Previously, we had planted one elderberry down there. Well, actually, we planted two. One of them got eaten and didn't make it, so we have one left, but we have 9 more to add to it. Also, as we kind of done a little sneak preview, we had ordered some plants from Burpee, some live plants, and this is the other edible acreage that we're going to be adding to this this area. There's 3. There's 3 more. And over here in this section we have 3 more. And what are these? See that? Bristol raspberries. So I've done a little research. These are black raspberries. This is one of the cultivars that is recommended for these black walnut trees that we have lining the edge of our wood line here. So you have black raspberries, elderberries. Those two are a couple of the main crops that are not as affected by that chemical, which is juggling. Now, one of the other things that we're going to be experimenting with in this area is, as you can see, partial sunlight. And on here, that tag, you've probably seen it a while ago, it said full sun. So sun is what you need in order to create that sweetness that is in the fruits. Your fruit trees, your berries and stuff like that, they need that vitamin D, that sunlight, and that's what helps develop that sweetness that is in them. So we're going to be experimenting with that. This is a strip of yard that is really just wasting gas because I continue to have to mow it, that I can hopefully do something with to increase our edible acreage. So that's what we've got in store for this project. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to do on this, but it may be spread out over a few, so just bear with me. There may be a couple of cuts, and then we'll get into the next one. So one of the other things that we're doing in this area is doing some companion planting. So that means plants that get along with your crop. So like nasturtiums are a really good companion planting for squash and zucchini and that type of stuff. But here with these berries, one of the things that I wanted to do was to promote pollinator activity. So this is the main reason for most of these that we're planting here. Now this is yarrow. So yarrow is a native plant, and like I said, the reason we're planting it is due to bringing in some pollinators. So it's a flowering plant. There's several different colors of these. I'm not sure exactly which cultivar this is from. The person I got it from said that it normally blooms early as like a pink or orange type, and then eventually it turns to the normal common white that a lot of folks see. But it's very beneficial to the wildlife. It attracts a lot of your pollinators, butterflies, and it's also deer and rabbit resistance, and that's one reason I'm planting it. And now these These are bee balm. Bee balm was another one of the recommended companion pollinators to plant with the raspberries and the elderberries. Again, to attract the pollinators. And again, it's a native, so that is definitely something that we want to make sure that we're planting more natives. But these are very fragrant, and they attract a lot of your pollinators. The flowers that come up on the ends are very attractive to a lot of the pollinators. And now this here is comfrey. And if you want to dive down that rabbit hole, just go out there to Mr. Google and type the benefits of comfrey. So there's a lot of uses for this. They consider it, some call it a dynamic accumulator because of how beneficial it is and what it does for your plants that you plant around it, as well as improving the soil. But the main reason we're planting it again is the pollinators. It has these bell-like purple bluish flowers that bloom, so again, bringing in more pollinators. Also, it is very much a companion plant to a lot of different types of plants. But one of the things that we'll do here probably, hopefully within the next 2 years, once it gets big enough, we will do a chop and drop method like we did our cover crop in our garden. So it'll be putting nutrients back into the soil. All right, so the yarrow is going to be split up and planted along the ends and of both the raspberries and the elderberries. The comfrey is actually going to go in between the elderberry plants, spaced out in between each of those. The bee balm is going to go at the ends and spread out along the edges of both the raspberries and the elderberries. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out through here, and I got my tape measure set out down through there, and we're going to set out our raspberries. So one of the things that we're going to do with the raspberries is trellis them. So we're going to be building a trellis as well, so we need to make sure that we're going to put we're going to make T trellises. So it'll be a 4x4 post with like two 2x4s crossways, one at the top and one down, 2 to 3 feet below it, and then we're going to run wire down through here on both of those 2x4 ends, and that's how we're going to trellis up our raspberries. But we'll get to that in another video. And you'll have to forgive me too, because I can't find my wireless mic, so I'm gonna have to probably try to speak up a little bit more or edit the video volume or something. But first thing we're going to do, this is where our first post is going to go. We're going to go ahead and mark that spot. We're not going to put the post in yet. We're not ready to tackle that project just yet. I got to get these plants, these live plants in the ground today. All right, folks. Well, with so many of my projects, it is always a fluid situation that is ever changing. So originally we was going to go with a post right here, which was, let me widen this out just a little bit here, was about halfway between the driveway and here at the edge of the wood line, which was about 4.5 feet or so. And as we went along the edge of the driveway, I was going to try to keep it in the middle between the driveway and the wood line. And you can see how our wood line kind of goes back in and then comes out and then goes back in and so on and so forth. Well, I got clearance from the tower. You always want to make sure that you get the missus involved when you make decisions like this. So we got our heads together and we figured that it would look better, that we have more of a definite line here with the driveway edge. So if we could keep it the exact distance from the driveway all the way down, which is kind of what we did here, but this is based off of the post being here. Now, there's some other factors that we discussed about, you know, having trellises here so close to the driveway, and, you know, different things that may affect. So what we decided to do was, instead of coming halfway here, our wood line is horrible. It's our catch-all for limbs and everything else. So this needs to be cleared out anyway. So once we'll get all this cleared up, so instead of coming, you know, about 4 foot or 4.5 foot away from the driveway, we're going to extend this out just a little bit further. We're probably going to come about, there's 7 foot there, 8, so somewhere between 7 to 8 foot, maybe 7.5, and then run our row, you know, 7 foot or so away from the driveway all the way down. All right, there's where our first post is going to go, and then we're going to come down 1 foot and come off the post about 1 foot. I don't want to put this right next to that post, so we're going to come down 1 foot or so, put our first plant, and then we will measure, you know, as we go along, just to make sure that we're trying to stay within, you know, a reasonable difference. The driveway's not got a definite edge to it, but it looks a whole lot straighter of an edge than our wood line does. So that's the reasoning behind trying to keep it in line with the driveway as it goes down. So, all right, there's our first plant. So we're going to come down, and because of our spacing down here with where the post is going to end up down there at 45 foot, we're going to put these about every say 6 feet or so apart. We'll come back and get our distance away from the driveway if we get them laid out a little better. All right, folks, let's get to planting. I'm running out of daylight. So the first one, and I'm not making this very difficult. I know my soil here is not the greatest. I've already hit something down there. Feels like a rock. I'm gonna try to take out that first layer of roots on the grass. And then I'm just gonna try to loosen the soil up around it. Also, one of my other favorite amendments to anytime I'm planting, whether it's elderberries, trees, or anything like that, I incorporate a piece of cardboard to help build the soil. What I'm doing here, I'm just tearing it down about halfway, and I'm gonna come in and place it right here over top of where I'm going to put the plant. All right, so we're gonna get a good scoop of our leaf compost, throw it down in there. And one other thing that I will use as an amendment when I'm planting is garden tone. They make a lot of different ones of these, but this is a really good balanced organic fertilizer here. It's a what is it, 344 NPK. So I like putting about a scoop or so in the bottom of that, and then we'll crumble some of this up in there, and then just kind of mix that all together. Let's see what our raspberries look like. They're not too bad. We want to loosen that up really good, kind of give it a good massaging. That way the roots will start This is why I don't use these a lot when it comes to seed starting, because the roots tend to get root bound. But that'll be good for that one. All right, there's one down, 8 more to go, plus all of my other plants to go. So I'm not gonna sit here and make you watch all this. It's just redundant of what I just did there. And we'll come back at the end when we get through with these and give you an update with it. But we'll come back in afterwards once we get them all planted. I've got some wood chips back there, and that's what we're gonna mulch this whole row in with, is wood chips. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this one. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of our expanding edible acreage here, and what types of plants do you plant when it comes to increasing your edible acreage. Being interested to know if any of you have any black walnuts that you have to deal with like I do, and what type of plants that you're using. That's going to do it for this video. We'll come back and give you an update once we make a little bit more progress. So I appreciate you watching us here at Langton Creek Farm, as we're finally starting our project here alongside the driveway and the wood edge. We'll see you on the next one. Y'all take care.